have a dream.
Between 1950 and 1980, America witnessed a transformation that shook the nation to its core. The Civil Rights Movement, the Black Power Movement, the rise of Black consciousness and Black pride. And central to this transformation were individuals, extraordinary people who refused to accept the status quo. They sang, they acted, they spoke, they created. They broke barriers. They opened doors. They became icons not just for their talent, but for what they represented: the possibility of Black excellence, Black leadership, and Black dignity in a nation that had tried everything to deny them. These weren't just entertainers or athletes. They were cultural architects. They were freedom fighters in tuxedos and on stages and in front of cameras. They were people who understood that their presence, their success, their visibility was itself a revolutionary act. They were proof that Black people could do anything, could achieve anything, could be anything. This is the story of 25 of those icons. This is the story of a generation that rose to prominence and in doing so, changed the landscape of American culture forever. Martin Luther King Jr., 1929-1968, the preacher who moved a nation. Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't just a civil rights leader. He was the face of the civil rights movement. His voice, his eloquence, his moral clarity made him the most recognizable Black leader in America by the 1960s. King articulated a vision of America where race wouldn't determine destiny. His "I Have a Dream" speech in 1963 became the defining statement of the civil rights era. He proved that nonviolent resistance could move a nation. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, the youngest man to do so at that time. King's assassination in 1968 made him a martyr and enshrined his message in the national consciousness. His dream didn't die with him. It lived on in the movement he inspired and the generation he awakened. King transformed America's conversation about race, justice, and equality. His words are still quoted today because they speak to something universal about human dignity. Rosa Parks, 1913 to 2005, the woman who wouldn't move. Rosa Parks was a seamstress in Montgomery, Alabama. On December 1, 1955, she refused to give up her seat to a white passenger on a bus. That single act of courage sparked the Montgomery bus boycott and ignited the civil rights movement. Parks' quiet defiance exposed the absurdity and cruelty of segregation. Her arrest catalyzed 381 days of boycott that desegregated Montgomery's buses. She became a symbol of dignified resistance. Parks lived to see the changes she helped create. She continued activism throughout her life, inspiring generations with her quiet, unwavering commitment to equality. Parks proved that ordinary people could do extraordinary things. She showed that you didn't need to be famous or powerful to change history. You just needed courage and principle. Mahalia Jackson, 1911 to 1972. The voice of the Spirit. Mahalia Jackson was a gospel singer with a voice that moved people to tears. Her powerful contralto became synonymous with the spiritual music of the Black church and the civil rights movement. Jackson sang at the 1963 March on Washington, immediately before King's "I Have a Dream" speech. Her music provided the emotional and spiritual foundation for the movement. She proved that Black musical tradition was profound and powerful. Jackson recorded over 100 albums and won 3 Grammy Awards. She remained a bridge between the church and secular music, proving that gospel was a serious art form. Jackson's voice is inseparable from the civil rights era. When people think of the spiritual music that sustained the movement, they hear Mahalia Jackson. 4. James Brown, 1933 to 2006, the godfather of soul. James Brown was an explosive force, a singer, dancer, and showman who redefined what it meant to perform. His energy, his intensity, his complete commitment to entertainment made him one of the most dynamic performers of the 20th century. Brown's music, particularly Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud in 1968, became an anthem for Black pride. His performances were so energetic and innovative that they influenced generations of performers. He proved that Black entertainment was the cutting edge of American culture. Brown's influence extends far beyond music. His dancing style influenced hip-hop. His production techniques influenced modern music production. He won the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award and is in multiple music halls of fame. Brown's declaration of Black pride in the late 1960s couldn't have been more timely or more powerful. He made Black identity something to celebrate, not something to be ashamed of. Aretha Franklin, 1942-2018, the Queen of Soul. Aretha Franklin was a recording artist, pianist, and activist with a voice that many considered the greatest voice in music history. Her power, her range, her emotional depth were unmatched. Franklin's 1967 song Respect became an anthem for both the civil rights movement and the women's liberation movement. She was proof that Black women could be powerful, could demand respect, could be at the center of their own narratives. Franklin recorded over 30 gold albums. She won 18 Grammy Awards, more than any other artist at that time. She remains the best-selling female recording artist of all time in the U.S. Respect didn't just become a song, it became a manifesto. Franklin's assertion of her own power and dignity resonated across movements and generations. Malcolm X was 1925 to 1965, the voice of Black power. Malcolm X was a Nation of Islam minister who became the most visible voice of Black nationalism and Black pride in the early 1960s. His rhetoric was powerful, his conviction unwavering, his message uncompromising. While King advocated nonviolence, Malcolm X asserted Black people's right to self-defense and self-determination. His willingness to challenge white supremacy directly resonated with urban Black youth. He represented an alternative vision of Black liberation. Though assassinated in 1965, Malcolm's influence grew after his death. His autobiography, written with Alex Haley, remains essential reading. His philosophy influenced Black power activists and remains influential today. Malcolm X represented Black rage, Black dignity, and Black refusal to accept second-class citizenship. He gave voice to feelings that mainstream civil rights leaders couldn't express. Stokely Carmichael, 1941 to 1998, the revolutionary voice. Stokely Carmichael was a civil rights activist who became famous for coining the phrase Black Power in 1966. His fiery rhetoric and unwavering commitment to Black liberation made him one of the most visible activists of the era. Carmichael articulated a vision of Black liberation that went beyond civil rights. He challenged Black people to see themselves as colonized people and to demand freedom and self-determination, not just integration. Carmichael's call for Black power resonated with a generation of young Black activists. Though he eventually left America, his rhetoric and his vision influenced Black movements for decades. Carmichael helped shift the conversation in the Black freedom struggle from civil rights to liberation. He made it possible to talk about Black power in a positive way. 8. Nina Simone, 1933 to 2003, the High Priestess of Soul. Nina Simone was a classical pianist, jazz singer, and activist. Her music was complex, her voice was distinctive, and her commitment to activism was unwavering. Simone's songs, particularly Mississippi Goddam, 1964, directly addressed the violence of segregation and called for justice. She used her art explicitly for political purposes, breaking the boundary between entertainment and activism. Simone recorded over 40 albums. Her songs have been covered by countless artists. She remains an icon of artist activism, proving that artists could use their platforms for social change. Simone made it acceptable, necessary, for artists to take political stands. She proved that art and politics were inseparable, at least for Black artists committed to liberation. 9. Muhammad Ali, 1942 to 2016, the greatest in and out of the ring. Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, was a boxer, activist, and cultural icon. His skill in the ring was extraordinary, but his impact outside the ring was equally profound. Ali refused to be drafted into the Vietnam War, claiming conscientious objection as a Nation of Islam member. This cost him his title and his freedom for years, but it made him a symbol of Black resistance to American imperialism. Ali regained his title and became the first 3-time heavyweight champion. Beyond boxing, he became an icon of Black pride, religious freedom, and resistance to war. Ali showed that athletes could be political. He showed that Black people could refuse to cooperate with systems of oppression, even at great cost. He inspired generations of athletes to speak out on political issues. 10. Jimi Hendrix, 1942-1970, the virtuoso who changed music forever. Jimi Hendrix was a guitarist and singer who revolutionized music. His technical skill was unmatched, his innovation was constant, and his impact was immediate. Hendrix proved that Black people could dominate rock music at its highest levels. He wasn't just successful in rock, he redefined what rock music could be. His influence on music is immeasurable. Though he died at 27, Hendrix left behind recordings that remain influential. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and is considered one of the greatest guitarists of all time. Hendrix showed that Black innovation in music wasn't limited to genres designated as Black music. He could play and revolutionize any form of music he chose. 11. Diana Ross, 1944 Prison, the Supreme Leader. Diana Ross was the lead singer of the Supremes, one of the most successful music groups of all time. She then became a solo artist and actress. Ross proved that Black women could be glamorous, powerful, and in control of their own narratives. She was a businesswoman as well as an artist, building a brand that extended beyond music. The Supremes had 12 #1 hits. Ross's solo career was equally successful. She became a cultural icon, a symbol of Black beauty and Black power. Ross made glamour and power synonymous. She showed that Black women didn't have to choose between being taken seriously and being beautiful. She could be both. Marvin Gaye, 1939-1984, the Prince of Soul. Marvin Gaye was a singer, songwriter, and producer who created some of the most beautiful and socially conscious music of the era. Gaye's album, What's Going On, 1971, was a groundbreaking exploration of social issues, police brutality, poverty, environmental destruction. He proved that soul music could be politically engaged without being preachy. Gaye recorded over 40 albums. His innovative production and emotional depth influenced generations of artists. Gaye showed that popular music could address serious social issues. What's Going On remains a model of how to make music that's both artistically excellent and politically meaningful. This story doesn't end here. We couldn't fit every name, every memory, every voice into one video. So part 2 is coming, and we wanted to include your memories too. If there's someone we should remember, someone who mattered in your home or in your time, leave their name in the comments. We'll be reading them, and some of your stories will be shared in the next part. And if you want to keep remembering with us, make sure you're subscribed.